Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to our official cTrader tutorial. We've received many questions and inquiries recently about how to actually use the platform. So we thought, you know what? Let's just drop an official walkthrough on how to use the platform when you're taking one of our challenges or even our front-end account. Alright, so let's get straight into the content. So first thing first, this is the default view that you get when you have cTrader, the downloadable app. So this is on MacBook, but it pretty much looks the same on Windows and also on the web browser, right? Maybe the web browser looks a bit different, but essentially the app looks the same on Windows and on MacBook. You have three main sections right here. It's already segmentized. So we will do a good thing and simplify it by just having two on the screen right now. You can do so by going to your layout and then you can close either one. I will choose to close the active symbol panel on the right hand side, and then once I click it, then it disappears, right? You can bring it back by going to layout again, the top bar right here, and then bringing it back. Okay, but I'll close it for now. So this is what you get when you first get into cTrader. The cool thing about cTrader is actually when you go to the top right hand corner, you can see that I have two accounts linked to this email, and it's linked to an email. So once you log into the email associated with different accounts, you can actually log them in right here without needing to just add multiple accounts onto your trading platform. All you have to do is just log in to your email, then you can get access to all the accounts under there. That's something that's pretty cool. Let's take a look at how to add your watch list or create your own watch list. Okay, so you have to have this left hand tab open. If it's not, just go to this top bar right here, click on the first icon, then a layout icon, and I click on expand sidebar. Then you pop up that segment right here, and essentially it's created in sections of two, right? You have watch list and all symbols. You click on all symbols. It's basically just a preset segmentation of asset classes according to their sections, right? So popular markets, like the gold, crude oil, euro dollar, pound dollar, it's all of it's right here. And they're also tied up in sections according to their nature of the asset, like Forex, you have AVRI, PJPY, NGT, USD, things like that. And also spot indices and cryptocurrencies. But that's boring, right? Let's take a look at how to actually create your own watch list. So this one is by default. You have one called popular markets, but you can also create a new watch list. Let's name it tests. And then this pops up right here. You can add pairs that you want to appear in this watch list, like going to this plus symbol and just clicking on this star, whichever pair that you want, and then you can view it by clicking this expand button, and then it will show you the pairs that you've just added, right? You can also right click on your watch list. You can rename it, duplicate it, delete it, or add or remove any symbols that are already in this watch list. Or you can just, create another one. Let's call it gold and silver. And let's add gold and also silver. Expand it and it's done, right? You have your beacon ask prices right here. You also search any pair that you want at the top left hand corner right here. Alright, let's take a look at the left hand sidebar and what all of these icons actually mean. So first off, we have quick trade. If you click on it, it gives you the settings tab for quick trading or one-click trading as known on other platforms. Here you can basically amend things like instant executions by clicking once or twice, or disable it completely if you want to. And also a cool thing is you can actually have different preset stop loss and take profit in terms of points or pips according to your order type, like a market order, stop order, or limit order. Just click apply right? You close it, you go to any pair, you go to market execute. Let's just say I want to buy right here, and it automatically gives me a stop loss and take profit of 20 pips right here. So that's actually very nice. All right, let me just close that. Now, next up, we have the hotkeys right here. You click on that, it brings you to the settings tab for hotkeys, and here you can basically amend any hotkey that you want to give you like a shortcut to different actions. I personally don't use a hotkey, but that's completely up to you. Okay, here we have the section to switch on light mode or dark mode, right? Just click on it, it brings you light mode. Click on it, it gives you dark mode. I prefer stay here dark mode, so I'll just stay here for now. This one is to kind of amend your sound settings if you want to have any sound or audio feedback for clicking a trade or opening a trade or any action. You can amend it right here. This one is for your plugins if you're running any plugins on cTrader. Currently I have none, so I cannot show you any of them, right? And here you have your settings for your language, right? You can amend them right here. Look at the right hand corner right now. I'll go to the top. I will choose to maximize the active symbol panel while also closing the left sidebar at the top. Now, this is one of the cooler features I think cTrader has compared to traditional older fashioned type platforms like MT4, MT5, if you will call them that. I think this is a good part and a good win for people using cTrader, right? So here you have symbol, news and calendar. Let's go through symbol. This new order segment is essentially your trade manager. In a sense, you can place your trades right through this segment with a lot more detail if you don't want to use the more simplified version at the top of your chart. You can also do them right here, so things like market range, what actually means. Stop loss right here, take profit. It shows you with this amount of loss size, if you have a 15 pip stop loss at this price, what percentage of your balance is it going to incur, and also what's your profits, right? Let me just drag this bigger a bit. So this is for market orders. You could have limit, stop limit, whatever order type that you want. You can also have a trading stop, right? So you can see if I amend the lot size, it amends the profit and loss as well. All right, so this is something that's pretty cool with this section. Let's take a look at leverage next. It shows you leverage for this specific asset class, which is NASDAQ, right? You have the depth of market as well for NASDAQ right here, level 2 data. That's cool. You have calendar as well for the news releases that might impact your trading due to the fluctuations in this segment right here. You can click show more if you want. The full thing, it brings you to the calendar section, which you can filter by day, and also I think you can filter it by time. Time is ready here. It shows you the countdown of it, as well as the exact time in what time zone. All right, so going back to symbol right here, we also have the inverted rate and also the information for the symbol, right? So things like commission, minimum lot size, what currency is it quoted at, what is the swap at the moment for longs and shorts. You can also go down here to trade statistics, which shows your total trading statistics based on your trading account. So here you can see your net profit, your profit factor, your winning trades, which I currently have 0, as they can treat demo trades on this demo account. And also your total losing pips, average losing pips per trade, and of things of that nature. Last but not least, we also have market hours. So it shows you when the market is open and when it closes. Okay, so this is a very in-depth segment for your trading, right? This is something that not all trading platform has, and not to say a free platform like cTrader. Okay, so definitely use this to your advantage, because if I go to the top, I also have a news segment for general news and also crypto related news, right? So you can click on them and they'll show you the news release from different sources. Okay, so that's definitely a big W for this platform. Definitely try to use this segment as much as you can. Alright, next up, let's take a look at the trade journal at the bottom of cTrader. Alright, let me just close the active symbol panel on the right hand side and let me maximize kind of the layout of the trade journal by dragging it up. So right here, the trade journal is essentially a section that shows to you your information on your trades, right? Your working orders, your pending orders, your field orders, and your current open positions, right? So if I go to positions, you can see that we have our balance, equity, margin levels, all the information's right here. And also a cool thing is the current trading sessions open at the moment, right? So now we are in Wellington session, Tokyo, Sydney, and also Singapore sessions are currently open at the moment. Okay, so let me just pull up a trade right here. I'll click on buy and I'll drag the TP&SL, right, which is really cool. You can do that by moving your mouse over to your TP&SL at the left hand corner and just dragging it wherever that you want to, right? Really convenient. And you know, I'm currently in a position, right? I bought NASDAQ of 0.1 lots at what price TPSL of this year, so as your running unrealized profit and loss right here. You go to orders. Essentially this tab is your working orders. So if I click new order, I click a buy limit. Let me put it at this level right here at 216, right? I will place this order, and then now you can see that it's placed. Close it. This is currently an order that is not filled and not running. It is a pending order, and it also shows you what distance is the market price, and the pending order that you set was a distance between them, so you can see that it constantly fluctuates right here. So that's pretty cool. I'll close that for now to remove it. So history right here, it shows you all of your open and closed trades, you know, not working orders, but orders that were actually filled in the markets. You can see it right here at what time and date and what direction. I've opened quite a few just to test things out. And here you can see that I've opened a total of 4, right? So price alert, you can also create a price alert right here by going to this section and creating price alerts. For which symbol, you can also set one for gold from here if you want to. You can set by ask price, bid price, or higher and lower for which price points, and then you can just create an alert, and now it's created, right? So when price reaches that specific price, depending if you put bid and ask, it will alert you once it reaches there, and you'll see a pop-up. Okay? Transactions at the moment, this is just your deposits or withdrawals will show up here. You have your journal right here as well for a more in-depth look at what actually happened, and also your logs. All right, cool. Right, now let's take a look at the top bar and what all of these icons actually mean. So the first one is the place your order, which brings you to the trade manager. Second one is the layout mode, which we went through just now, where you can change the layout of cTrader. All right, next up we have workspaces, which is really cool. It essentially allows you to save presets for how your workspace looks, and you can save that preset and you can access that preset as long as you log into the account through the email, which is linked to your trading accounts. You can access that workspace on any device as long as you log in to that email. All right, next up you have the multi-chart and single chart mode, where if you click on it, right, it brings you two different things. So let's have a multi-chart mode right here. Essentially what that means is if you open a new chart on this plus section, let's take a look at gold, for example. You click on it, it brings up two charts. All right, click on maybe pound dollar, it brings up a third chart.
Right.
It brings up XRG USD, silver, it brings up 4 charts. So this one allows you to view multiple charts and interact with them all at the same time at a glance. And some people might prefer this, some might not, but it's still pretty neat because you can actually also bring up the chart. You can move them around if you want to, and you can close them if you want to, but you can also put it back by clicking on this icon. Right here, it brings it back to its position, right? You can do so for any of these charts. Right here, you can close them, and it will also adjust the layout of the charts for you automatically. Don't have to move them if you don't want to. Like you would use on a normal Google Chrome browser, for example.
Right.
In that format, you can add more charts by going to this class icon right here and just clicking random charts. And you can click on them and then open it up. You can open multiple charts and save through them with just a click of a button, right? You can go to this segment right here, which is also the time frames that you can select. We can choose, 1 minute, 3, 4 minute charts to tick charts, which is really cool. You also have rank order charts and range charts and also Heikin-Ashi charts right here. So if I go on to tick charts, this is what a 250 tick chart looks like for the German 40. All right, you can also change all of the different asset classes right here. This one's for gold, right? So you can technically you don't have to open many charts if you don't want to. You can open just one, then just change the pair from here if that's all you want to do. Okay, so this is what it looks like for a thick chart on 250. If you go on Renko, so what it looks like. It's a bit whack. Maybe you go to 25 pips. This is Renko charts. Looks a bit whack. First people use Renko charts. I just use normal candlestick charts based on time and price. And this is range charts. This is Heikin-Ashi charts. Okay, so they all have different meanings. They all kind of show you candlesticks with a different formula and calculations. So choose one that you personally like. But I like to use just normal time-based candlestick charts. Okay, so here you can also change your candlestick charts, right? If you're on a bar chart, line chart, dot chart, area chart, right here you can do that. Let's just go back to a candlestick chart, and you can actually adjust the size of the view, like how zoom in you are by going through this plus, but so not plus, but this magnifying glass icon. The plus just expands and zooms in on charts, while the minus kind of just makes it a bit smaller. You see, and you kind of zooming out of the charts right here. So we have indicators, right? So if you use any typical or traditional technical indicators like moving average or maybe a MACD crossover, you can use them by visible linear bands. Add to charts, then you'll show up right here. You can also have the information of indicators at the top left-hand corner. Right here, you can choose to view them or, view them, hide them, can do it right here. Settings, properties are right here. You can choose to amend all of your indicators. You can also remove them by clicking on this X icon, which closes the indicator. Okay, so a bunch of different indicators for you to choose from right here. This section, right, let's close that. We move on to the next one, which is CBOTs. CBOTs are essentially just your own coded scripts or algorithms or bots that you use. Can add them through this segment. Right, next up we have Object Manager, which basically shows to you all of the drawings that you have on the charts. You can hide them or remove them or show them if you want to, right? So, all right, let's go through the Drawings tab on the right-hand side corner here. Here, this is your cursor. You can choose them to be a cursor or a cursor, depending on what you want. Right here, you have your synchronized crosser according if you have multiple charts. Let me just showcase to you right here. If you have multiple charts, let me just add a U chart. XAUSD. A synchronized crosser essentially means it's sync according to the time. All right. So right here is the market snapshot of what the open, high, low price is, and as well as a tick volume. When you move your cursor, right, it shows you all the information. Next up, we have the typical drawing tools like a line, a trend line, right? An array. If you do use rays, that's that's a ray for you, and also a bunch of different things like pitchforks, fit retracements, right here. Just put that here, fit retracement, and also your typical rectangle tools, which you can also right click and adjust all these settings for you, right? You can right click on any of these drawings and you can amend them to whatever that you want. All right. You also, some of your diamond up arrows, some of your icons are these like shapes right here. And also you have your chart shots. By clicking this, you actually take a picture of the charts, price alerts, and also your market replays, right? At the moment, I'm not sure if, or you can actually use market replays. So actually market replay at the moment works, but previously it didn't work on MacBook. It used to only work on Windows, but I guess now it is on MacBook. So this is like a replay tool that you use on a trading view or on like a backtest tool like FX Replay. So this allows you to do that for free on cTrader. Nice. Alright, now let's take a look at setting up your charts. Now, I know for a lot of people, they may only use cTrader or these platforms for execution purposes only, and they may do their main form of analysis on, different apps like TradingView and whatnot. But I'll be completely honest with you, cTrader actually has a pretty killer charting experience, right? So let's look into what it actually looks and what it feels like to use cTrader. So you can go to any blank space on your charts right here, right click, it brings you this drop down menu, and you can see that we've actually covered many different things. I can place a new order right here. Buy limit, sell limit at certain price points. Price alerts are here as well. And also you can change your symbols right here as we speak. So if I'm on XAUUSD, which is gold, I can actually pull up GBPUSD and it will change to GBPUSD. I can also duplicate my charts if I want to. Since we are in single chart mode, it doesn't pop up, it pops up in a new chart, but if I were on multi-chart mode, then it will be side by side. Yeah, so going back to this charting experience walkthrough, here you can also have your templates for different settings. If I pull up a light template, this is what it looks like. That's very bright, I apologize. Let me pull back my dark template. Chart type as well, bar chart, or you want to do a line chart, you can also do that, but let's just stick with a normal candlestick chart. Periods is essentially just your trading time frames, or ticks or range, whichever you want your chart to represent, and amend it here. Viewing options, if you want to remove any of these things, like quick trade buttons, you can click on this and then it'll disappear. Bring it back, just tick on it again, and vice versa. So if I actually want to remove this tick volume chart, I just have to go to tick volume and remove it, and then it's done. Okay, so these are to remove different things on the charts that you don't want to see. Okay, so for color options, right, everyone wants to have a nice looking chart filled with colors that they like. I personally just really like black and white, but you can choose many different colors from here. Like, let me bring back background, many different colors. You can change it to white if you want to. You can change the opacity, change it to change it to red, change your opacity. That looks horrible, so I'll change it back to black for now. All right, so you can choose many different things. If I want a bullish candle to be blue, I can do so, the outline, and then right here the bull field blue, now it's blue, right? So you can choose all of these colors that you want to play around with to make it something that your eyes agree with. And if you want to save what this chart looks like, you can save into a template. This is the templates right here. Click on it, save template. I'll save it blue and red. And I'll click save. And then now it will be saved right here. Right, if I go to click a random default chart and I want to bring back my blue and red chart, I'll just go to blue and red right here. Right, double click on it, my bad. And then it will appear right here. Okay, so yeah, all of these things are pretty much the same, you know. Object manager that we saw on the top corner is also right here. Indicators as well, you can refresh or try if you want to. If it's lagging, you can refresh it. If you want to remove this image right here, you can also click on this. Yeah, you can link it to a URL or you can link it to a local file. That's also fine. I'll put it to none for now. And then now it's gone, right? So this is what it feels like to kind of, you know, amend or, you know, change your charts. Okay, so yep, that's pretty much it for this section. Let's get straight into the next one.
Peace.